welcome back for another video. And today we are going to cover the crypto market, because Bitcoin has been running like a runaway train. But before we cover those things, let's go to our segment of if I were to invest. The topic for today would be discipline. If I were to invest, I would invest in discipline. You're probably thinking to yourself, wait a minute, what you talking about? But the Bible says in Hebrew chapter 12 verse 11, New Living Translation, it says, no discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It's painful, but afterwards there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way. Man, I was thinking about this, and a lot of the experiences that I've been able to gather and pick up, right, as tools in my crypto journey, a lot of it had to come with discipline, and a lot of discipline. Definitely discipline is like one of the main tools that those of us that have been in crypto for some time, we must understand that if there is no discipline, we will not make it, right? And I mean that, right, in the financial sense, right? We run the risk of losing everything that we invest in crypto. But I mean, even in life, right? For those of you guys that are like me, that have children, right? There is a reason why we discipline our children. I mean, we don't just let them do whatever they want. And when we see parents, right, that let their children do whatever they want, and they are at a store or something just acting like crazy, we're like, what is going on, right? I mean, and those parents, I don't even know if they get embarrassed, but I mean, I get embarrassed for them, because there's got to be discipline, right? The children don't know what they really want, right? And so that's why we're there, to be able to guide them, right? And put certain guardrails so that they don't just grow up to be a menace, in life. But discipline, again, it's not just useful, right, for bringing up children, but it's also very, very, very important even for us adults, right? If we don't have discipline in taking care of our bodies, well, our bodies are gonna get sick, right? If we're not disciplined enough to let's say brush our teeth after we eat, or at night, or we don't rest well our bodies are actually gonna come back and haunt us, right? It's the same thing with everything. If we're not disciplined enough at work to do what we need to do, then we run the risk, right, of being fired. Same thing with crypto. If we're not disciplined enough, you may emotionally, it may get the best of you. And I've seen it already many times in this space. Crypto is sort of like a character building space, because it really plays on all of our emotions. And that's why, right, we have sentiment readings, which pretty much lets us know, right? This fear and greed index that we see here, it's really powerful, because it lets us know, right, what gives us an idea, right, of what the group as an aggregate, right, it's kind of feeling, it's kind of thinking, it's kind of leaning. And so, but if we are disciplined, we can use these tools for our own advantage, or we could actually stand above these emotions and be able to, you know, have a cool, patient head to make the decisions, you know, that should be able, or hopefully will give us a better tomorrow. And that, you know, not just for us, but for our families as well. So discipline, very, very important. If I were to invest, I would certainly invest in discipline. So let's get to the market and let's see here what we got. Let's refresh this. And Bitcoin is going down a little bit here. It touched 126,000. So it is in all-time discovery mode for the last few days, which is pretty awesome. Ethereum also is moving quite beautifully. I mean, look at these numbers in the last 7 days. That's pretty awesome. BNB is crushing it. Solana is doing pretty good. I mean, pretty much everything is running quite beautifully. Let's take a look at our memes. And our memes are over here. And we're seeing a lot of green here in the last 24 hours. In the last hour, we're starting to see a little bit of pullbacks, which is completely fine. But let's go to Pepecoin, and let's see where Pepecoin is at the moment. And then here we are, Pepecoin. So Pepecoin, I mean, still holding on, right? Pepecoin is almost like a stable coin. It's been in the 30, I don't know, like 33 to 46 cent range for a while. It's almost like this is a Pepe stable. But yeah, I mean, it's still doing quite, I mean, considering, right? I mean, it could be tanking like some other projects that I've been seeing that they've been tanking, you know, more and more and more. Some of them have been even higher than Pepecoin, and they've gone down, down, down. But Pepecoin's still holding on, right? And I am expecting a pretty decent move on Pepecoin as well. I just am not expecting it right now because this is Bitcoin's time to shine, right? And so we will leave Bitcoin to do Bitcoin things, and then once Bitcoin has its run, and then, you know, we go down to alts, then, you know, we'll have our alt season that we shall enjoy. And right now, the alt season index is showing that we are starting our alt season. However, I think this should be more like maybe down here in the middle, maybe around the 50-ish, because Bitcoin is having a run. So, I mean, yeah, Ethereum as well. Ethereum is doing good, and it has outpaced it. So these guys have actually outpaced Bitcoin in the last 7 days. So maybe that's the reason why it's a little bit higher. Take a look at some of our other tokens. See Kekistan, just almost flat. So let's see there. Let's see GME 2.6%. Also like a little bit like Pepecoin. Look at Ethereum, Buoy has been running, you know, having a little nice run over here, so that's pretty cool. So 6% in the green, nice. And Base AI, nice, okay. Because Base AI, I left it around 30 cents here, yeah. So it decided to just start going up. Okay, so almost 6% in the green, which is very, very nice. Still, we have not heard anything from Base AI. It has been quite a bit, probably like about 3 months or over 3 months that we haven't heard anything. And so the drifter here has Kek Penniless from Kekspace. Okay, and all base AI hodlers right now hoping for a accelerate from based AI. And so, yeah, every day that goes by, it's looking less and less likely that we might get anything from based anytime soon, honestly, which is not good, really, because it does affect not only based AI, but also Pepecoin as well to a certain extent. And then we have this pretty cool post by the Pepecoin, the main account. And so it's a little lengthy, but if you guys have a moment to go and check it out, please do so. Yes, almost forgot. This is an announcement. Guys, if you could set a reminder, okay, that the Pepecoin community is going to have a spaces with one of the co-CEOs of Kraken. This is Arjun Sethi or Sethi. Yeah, so that's going to be this Wednesday, October 8th, okay, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US time. So, okay, that's like New York time. So that's really exciting. And Secret Dev has been hinting something seems to be cooking behind the scenes that nobody, okay, is privy to. And he seems to be extremely excited about it to the point that he actually said that if only we knew what's cooking behind the scenes. So, I mean, something to keep in mind that potentially there is some good things coming down the pike sooner than later for Pepecoin. So I saw this post by Mirage, and I ended up doing a requote on this. It says meme coins with the longest period of accumulation and consolidation will be on the path of least resistance on the way up. I think that's what's been happening with Pepecoin. I think Pepecoin has been accumulating and consolidating for such a long time. That's why it almost feels like a stable coin. There's hardly any movement on it. It's probably this whole accumulation and consolidation that's been going on. Says look for diamond hand holder bases, resilient communities, and memes with strong legacy within our culture. Look for coins that are prepared for the big Q4. And I truly believe that this is very indicative of what Pepecoin has been, okay? The community, how resilient the community has been, how diamond hand most of the holders have been. Talk about having a strong legacy, right? I mean, with a strong legacy within our culture, it's almost everything. This checks all the boxes of Pepecoin, and so it's nice. It's nice to see that. I mean, right now, price doesn't indicate that, but it is nice to be in a project that checks off all these boxes, right? Because this has been, doesn't mean that it will be this time or that it'll continue to be, but this tends to be the recipe, right, for a really good move up, right? A pretty explosive move up for a project. And then we have here Beeple, okay, who keeps posting like these weird pictures. And the interesting part is look at the resemblance between, okay, this laboratory, okay, where they seem to be testing on this frog here, and look at Kek's face. it really makes you wonder, like, what's going on over here. There's something cooking, because it's just such a coincidence. Okay, let's just put it like that. You know, between what's going on with some of these big names in the space, and how they resemble so much of some of the things that are being built in Keck space. And talking about Keck space, all right, let's get my guy over here. Got some grayish hair over there, knocking out. So we got quite a bit of people over here. They're blocking the streets. Where are the cones? We got to bring the cones back. But yeah, we got some people over there, and then we have a couple of people here by the Kraken area. Got some more over here. Oh man, come on! Is somebody blocking the entrance to the coffee shop? Let's see if it lets me go in. Oh, okay, nice. Was able to get in. So let's try to get our cafecito. And so we got our good morning coffee here. Collected quite a bit of these coffee, but cool thing, the coffee shop is serving. The other day there was no coffee, man, and people were getting a little antsy. So very nice. It was a huge line already over here. All right, well, let's go say hi to Vitalik, and then we go. There he is. Hi, Vitalik. All right, yeah, but a lot of pretty cool stuff, man. That the plans that the devs are that the devs have for Keck space. And even the Kraken CEO is very excited as to what, the plans and moving forward. So I do believe that hopefully sooner than later, we should be having a listing in Kraken, hopefully. So in the meantime, we just continue to vibe here and in Twitter or X. And something really cool before I let you guys go is there's a lot of art, okay, around Keck space that the devs have, started putting around. And you can actually double click on these guys and you can see them and be able to open this. And yeah, I think this takes you to OpenSea. So let's click on it. Yeah, and it takes you to OpenSea, which is really, really cool. And then you can buy, these NFTs, over here on OpenSea. But it's pretty neat. And you have quite a bit of art, all around. Here we have another one. So yeah, guys, come in here. If there's something that you guys like, support the artist. Yeah, and come and vibe with the rest of the community. We did hear from the devs that there might have been a presence here of maybe important individuals that are probably seeing, Keck space walking around. And so it would be nice to have more of us here. I don't know if that's going to be a whole day thing or if that was already something early on today, but nevertheless, come to Keck space, vibe with us. And remember, do not despise discipline. Embrace it, or it will make a better version of you. See y'all in the next video. Peace out. Riding on the blockchain, ain't nothing gonna disappoint. Investing in